3 days after launch, the US government forced Anthropic to kill Fable 5, the most capable AI model on the planet, for every user, everywhere. The official reason, a jailbreak risk. The real story, a political retaliation that started months earlier, when Anthropic refused to let the Pentagon use Claude for autonomous weapons and mass surveillance. And here's the question nobody's asking: what happens next? Not today, not tomorrow, but in the next 1 to 2 years, if this pattern continues. I think the answer is worse than most people realize, and I want to walk through it, clearly separating what we know happened from what I think could happen, so you can decide for yourself. Let's start with the facts. This timeline is public record. July 2025, Anthropic signs a $200 million contract with the Pentagon. Claude becomes the first frontier AI model approved for use on classified networks. It's a landmark, a signal that Anthropic has passed national security trust thresholds no other lab has cleared. February 2026. The deal collapses. The Pentagon wants to renegotiate. They demand language authorizing Claude for any lawful purpose, an umbrella clause that, in Anthropic's reading, would permit deployment for mass surveillance of American citizens and lethal targeting in fully autonomous weapons systems without meaningful human oversight. Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei says no. Publicly, he says the company cannot in good conscience accede to the Pentagon's demands. March 9, 2026. The Trump administration designates Anthropic a supply chain risk, a label normally reserved for foreign adversaries or compromised vendors. It has never been applied to an American company before. Anthropic files 2 lawsuits. A federal judge temporarily blocks the blacklisting, saying it looks like punishment for Anthropic's views on AI safety. June 9, 2026. Despite all this, Anthropic launches Fable 5 and Mythos 5. Fable 5 is the most capable model they've ever released, positioned for long-running software engineering, knowledge work, scientific research. It sells out instantly. June 12, 2026, 5:21 p.m. Eastern. Anthropic receives an export control directive from the U.S. government. The order: suspend all access to Fable 5 and Mythos 5 for any foreign national, including Anthropic's own international employees. To comply, Anthropic has to shut off access for every customer, worldwide. The model goes dark. API calls fail. Claude Code and Claude AI default to Opus 4. 8. The official justification: the government claims it has found a method to bypass Fable 5 safety measures. A jailbreak. Anthropic's response: they review the demo. They say the technique is a narrow, non-universal jailbreak, asking the model to read a codebase and fix bugs. GPT-5. 5 already has this capability. The government's response to that argument: silence. So let's be clear about what this actually is. This isn't about safety. If it were, the standard would apply evenly. GPT-5. 5 has the same capability. Other models have the same vulnerabilities, but only Anthropic got shut down. This is about punishment. The Pentagon wanted Claude for autonomous targeting and mass surveillance. Anthropic refused. The administration then used the first available pretext, a narrow jailbreak claim that Anthropic disputes and that other companies would have shrugged off, to pull the most advanced American AI model off the global market. And here's the part that really gets me. The irony is brutal. Anthropic was the most cooperative AI company on safety. They published detailed system cards. They built defense-in-depth safety measures. They tested with the US government, the UK AC, and private third parties for thousands of hours before launch. Users actually complained the model was too restrictive, but being transparent gave the government a roadmap. Their detailed safety documentation, which a less forthcoming company would never have published, provided the ammunition used against them. As one analysis put it, being honest about AI safety limitations invites regulatory action, while being opaque does not, and the precedent this sets is dangerous. Anthropic said it plainly: if the finding of a narrow potential jailbreak is cause for recalling a commercial model deployed to hundreds of millions of people, then no frontier model can ever be deployed. Every model has jailbreaks. Every model has vulnerabilities. This isn't a safety standard, it's a political veto. Any administration that doesn't like what an AI company is doing can now find a jailbreak, claim it's a national security threat, and pull the model. The legal architecture for this already exists. It was just used for the first time. All right, everything up to this point is documented fact. What comes next is a scenario, a projection based on where the incentives are pointing. I want to be clear about that. I'm not saying this is guaranteed. I'm saying this is what I'm watching and it keeps me up at night. Scenario 1, trust evaporates globally. This one is already in motion. Every international company that built on Fable 5 just had their product killed overnight. No warning, no transition period, no recourse. The message to every CTO in Asia, Europe, Africa, South America is unmistakable. If you depend on US AI infrastructure, the US government can pull the rug at any moment for reasons that may have nothing to do with you. Trust is the hardest thing to build and the easiest thing to destroy, and this ban just destroyed a lot of it. The question is whether that trust comes back. I think it takes years, if it comes back at all. Scenario 2, China's labs become the default alternative. Here's where the hypothetical gets concrete. China's AI labs, DeepSeek, Alibaba's QN, Baidu's Ernie, ByteDance's Dubao, they're all shipping competitive models. They're open weight. They're getting better fast, and they come with zero geopolitical risk for non-US customers. If I'm a CTO in Singapore or Nairobi or Sao Paulo and I need to pick an AI provider for the next 3 years, what am I choosing? Option A, a US model that might get banned because of a political dispute in Washington. Option B, a Chinese model that just works, that I can run on my own infrastructure, and that nobody in Beijing is going to shut off because of a contract dispute with the Pentagon. The rational choice is option B, and that's the problem. Scenario 3, the data follows the infrastructure. This is the one that worries me most. When companies switch AI providers, they don't just swap API keys. They migrate entire workflows. They fine-tune models on their proprietary data. They build deep integrations. They train their teams on the new platform. That data, code bases, customer records, internal knowledge bases, trade secrets, now lives on Chinese platforms, not stolen. Handed over voluntarily because the US government made American AI unreliable. This is the part that keeps me up at night. The data transfer isn't espionage, it's market response, and it's already starting. Scenario 4, the gap closes. Chinese frontier models are currently at about 80 to 90% of Fable 5 capability. That gap shrinks every quarter. If Fable 5 stays offline for 12 to 24 months and there's no indication it's coming back soon, the gap might disappear entirely. The US doesn't just lose the lead. The US gives up the lead. Not because China out-innovated us, but because we voluntarily took our most advanced model off the global market. The irony is almost too much to process. So what do we do with this? For builders and founders, look at your AI dependency chain. Ask yourself, what happens if my model provider gets banned tomorrow? If you don't have an answer, you have a problem. Diversify. Use open-weight models. Run local inference where you can. Don't let any government have a kill switch on your product. For the industry, expect a rush to open-weight and non-US providers. The Fable 5 ban is the best advertisement DeepSeek has ever had. Every CTO who saw this story and thought I need a backup plan is now evaluating Chinese AI platforms. For national security, this is the part that hurts. The ban was supposed to protect US technology. It was supposed to keep advanced AI capabilities out of foreign hands. But if the scenarios I just described play out, it will have done the opposite. It will have accelerated the transfer of global AI data and infrastructure to Chinese platforms. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. The Fable 5 ban isn't a safety win. It's a self-inflicted wound with consequences we won't fully see for 1 to 2 years. The government had a grudge against Anthropic. They used a pretext to settle it. And in doing so, they may have told the entire world, don't build on American AI. I hope I'm wrong about where this leads. I really do. But the incentives are pointing in one direction, and I think we should be paying attention before the data actually moves. If you're building on AI, and if you're watching this, you probably are. Take a hard look at your dependency chain. Because the next time the government pulls this, it might be the model you depend on. Thanks for watching. I'll be following this story closely, and I'll update you as it develops.